Alrighty, we are live. So I'm here with my client Diane O'Shea and the beautiful Diane O'Shea, who looks lovely.
Oh, thank you.
And we are talking about Diane's story. So before Diane came to Fierce Feminine and Free, she was brand new coach. And this is really a story of what she experienced and the struggle she was having and her results. So welcome, Diane. Why don't we start with you telling everyone what you do?
Okay. I work specifically with highly sensitive women. So I help highly sensitive women break their chains to the corporate world to start their own wildly successful business.
I love that. And what is your Facebook group called?
The Facebook group is called Wild Hearts, Highly Sensitive Women Breaking the Corporate Chains.
So good. So good. Love that title. Okay, fantastic. So why don't we start? Tell us about what was life and business like before you found Fierce Feminine and Free?
Okay, so before I found Fierce Feminine and Free, I had actually had another coach that I had hired for 6 or 8 weeks or so. And, the only thing that she really taught me is to, go out on Instagram and post and interact with people. It just ended up being kind of directionless, So a lot of effort in social media with no return on all of that energy. And, I had gotten to the point where I had convinced myself that the only people who are successful in this business and online are extremely outgoing people. That was the story that I had convinced myself that, she was crazy outgoing. And I thought, okay, I'm not that person. I can't go to the beach and take pictures of myself in a bikini every day. And, that just not me. So it was very frustrating. It was very, very frustrating. It was, I just knew that this was something I was meant to do. I knew that there was a way to do it. I just knew in the back of my head that there was a way to do it.
And so I didn't know that you actually had a coach before. I think you probably had said, but I'd forgotten. So yeah, wow. And I think that is a really common experience, actually. A lot of the women who come to me and who come into Fierce Feminine and Free have been in coaching programs before. Wow. And for whatever reason, they haven't got the result. So to me, it's a little bit shocking because they're paying, several £1,000s often and not getting a result.
Absolutely. It's not inexpensive at all.
Yeah. Okay. So you found Fierce Feminine and Free. What initially attracted you?
Well, what initially attracted me is your energy. And I signed up for your workshop, the free workshop. And, through that, I could see that you had the keys that I was missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then speaking to you actually on a sales call, that was when I really, felt like, okay, this is worth the investment.
Okay. And so prior to that, you hadn't yet had any paying clients. Is that correct?
Not only had I not had any paying clients, but I didn't have any phone calls. I didn't have any messages. All I had was free clients, and my free clients were thrilled, but I didn't know. I just couldn't figure out the secret to finding people and bringing them in.
Yes. And free clients do not a business make, do they?
No, definitely not. No.
Okay. And so I think as well that you were thinking thoughts about giving up. Maybe you weren't going to, but you certainly mentioned to me that some of the people in your coaching program had given up.
Yes. The majority, I would say, of the people that I had gone through coaching classes with had given up.
It's so heartbreaking because
it really is.
It's so unnecessary. But okay, so we had our sales call. There were still some doubts, though. I remember that you had a bit of a wobble, didn't you? So share what you were going through.
Yes. Well, financially, it's investing in a coach is an investment. right? And I was very hesitant after my last experience. And like I said, I had kind of told myself this story that it was a certain type of personality that was successful and that it wasn't a personality that I had. So it was kind of a combination of, financial concerns and then just not really having the confidence in myself, I would say.
Amazing. And so what was the story you were telling yourself? Because I believe that you are highly sensitive and you support highly sensitive women.
Yeah.
I am an introvert naturally and top up through time alone. So what was the story you were telling yourself about that?
The story was, the people that I saw, and we all do this, right? We go on social media and we see these people who look wildly successful. We have no idea whether they are or not, but their photos and things are extremely impressive. And, just people who were, fantastic photos of themselves everywhere doing all these exciting things. And, that just wasn't who I was. And, so I just didn't know that I could be that person that could like reach out to people, be brave enough to reach out to people, not knowing if they were going to say no, and feeling like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to handle it if people say no to me? Is that going to devastate me? For anybody out there, it doesn't. So
yeah. And what really made the difference? Because you have certainly done things outside of your comfort zone now. You reach out and so what was it that really cultivated that confidence inside of you?
Well, I know in the very beginning when you helped me tweak my niche, which was very, very key. That's one of the advantages of Fierce Feminine Free over, say, a recorded class, right? Is that you actually get individual feedback on what it is that you're doing. And that is priceless. So I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought a little bit.
No, that's okay. I just wondered what made the difference to your confidence.
Oh, well, in the beginning, once we worked on the niche and things, and I still had some doubts around, oh my gosh, is this something that people are going to pay for? What you said was, look, I'll have the belief for you for now. For now, just rely on my belief, do the work, and and so that's what I did. And you don't start doing all of these things overnight, but it's like, it's like steps. You have the courage to take a step. You realize that it's okay. The world didn't end. Nobody showed up at your door to arrest you for reaching out to someone, and
yeah.
step by step. And, I just have to say also, the training that you did about the sales calls, right? I mean, my sales close rate is like 50% right now. Now, granted, I haven't had that many calls. I'm literally holding myself back right now because I have such a demanding full-time job. But as you know, I have a quit date.
Yes. Yes. Because that was something. It's like, that was your dream, right? And I know something that when you came into the program, you weren't even sure about. And I remember saying to you, Diane, are you going to quit this job? What's your decision? And you were like,
oh my gosh. And I don't think I really believed that I was going to do it at the time. But working through the process and understanding, what I have now is the tools and the processes to scale when I get to the point where I leave my job. Yes. So I've built the confidence that I know how to do these things. And when I have more time, I'll be able to just, let myself loose on that. But yeah, yes, I wanted to believe. I mean, I had faith in myself as a coach, but not as a marketing and salesperson and, all of those other skills that you have to build. Yes. So those were all of the keys that got plugged in to unlock the, all the boxes that I needed to be able to really get going.
And I think that's an important point that you bring up, because so many people qualify as a coach and they don't realize that means they are automatically also a marketer, right, and that they're a business person. Yeah. And typically you don't get training for that on your coaching program, or if that's you do, right, very, very small amount. So they are by default, they need to learn these skills of marketing and sales, and it's a huge gap. So, okay, so then you join Fierce Feminine and Free, and how are things different for you now?
Oh my gosh, well, things are vastly different for me now. I mean, first of all, the people who are drawn to coaching tend to be just lovely people, you know, so even just being in the group with the other people who are going through the same thing and not feeling like it's just me, there's something wrong with me. Just an absolutely lovely group of people. But I mean, now I do have the confidence that I am going to leave my job. I mean, I am. I'm leaving my job, and this is my business. And what it's done for me personally, I can't even say, because this is my purpose. And as you know, I spent 30 years in the corporate world in high stress, high tech, and it's not where I meant to be. And so after 30 years, being able to step into truly what my purpose is, that's life-changing. That's completely life-changing.
What did that do to you, spending 30 years in tech, in an environment that didn't really suit you?
Well, it had a huge negative impact on my quality of life. And ultimately, it did end up affecting my health. I mean, I ended up with some chronic health issues from the constant stress and just that disconnect between what I'm supposed to do and what I'm doing now. You know, 30 years of that, it takes a toll on you. And so I couldn't be more thrilled. I just couldn't be more thrilled.
Amazing. And what would you, and not only are you going to leave your job, I mean, you actually have the exit plan, don't you? You have a date, and you know what you're doing. You're making financial plans. You know how many clients you need to bring on.
Exactly.
You're already at capacity with clients pretty much now, but you know what to do to bring in clients. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's not like a out there in the future thing. It is a concrete plan and a date, right?
It is not only concrete, it is within 2 months of where I am right now. So
Wow.
It is so exciting. And this is what I'm going to help other people do.
I cannot wait.
It's amazing.
Celebrate that moment. It's amazing also that you are walking your talk, because I have to say, there are coaches out there that coach on this and they're not doing it themselves. So it's
wow. Yes.
To walk our talk. Okay, so what would you say to anyone who is considering Fierce Feminine and Free, and maybe is in the position that you were and is unsure about the investment, maybe is having some doubts, they've done programs before and they're on the fence?
I would say, if you are willing to do the work and you are willing to be open to the coaching. So if there is something you have to tweak about your niche, because it's not something, you know, there's a term that people won't pay for, which was one of my problems when I came in. You have to be open, right? Just like an author has to be willing to kill their darlings, as people say, you have to be open. But if you do this program and you do the work and you show up and you ask the questions, you will have results.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for saying that, because I say it all the time, but it's helpful for people to hear it from the horse's mouth, if you like. So amazing. Okay, and so where next for you in your journey?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, there's just no limit to what I'm going to do. I mean, some of the things that we've talked about as well are things like, where is your financial thermometer? You know, in the last year, I've done a lot of work on that. And I have big plans. I mean, I have very big plans. I will be on TED Talks, and, you know, I plan to help hundreds of women start their own businesses and leave their jobs. And change the world, right? Let's make the world a happier place. Look, there are people who are happy in corporate. And so I'm not saying that that's not something that some people should do, but there are a lot of people like me who are meant to do something else. Yes. And if you're meant to do something else, don't wait 30 years like I did.
Right. It's that soul calling, isn't it? You know when you're in the right thing and in the right job. And so just remind people of your Facebook group again, so that anyone who resonates with what you're saying can find you.
Yes, absolutely. It's a little bit of a long name, so I read it, but it's Wild Hearts, Highly Sensitive Women Breaking the Corporate Chains.
Amazing.
Yeah, group of fantastic people.
And is there anything else you would like to add? Any kind of final comments that you would like to say?
Well, just to tell people, don't quit. You hear, you know, when you're building your business, it's like rolling an enormous boulder in front of you up a hill, and you can't see to the other side of the boulder to see when you're at the top. And a lot of people quit right before they get to the top. And so there is a way to do it. And I know that this program can help. So don't quit.
Oh, well said, well said. Well, thank you, Diane. I've really enjoyed talking to you. And I know a lot of the ladies, particularly newbie coaches, will really resonate with what you're saying. So I appreciate you taking the time to come on and share your experience. And it's a pleasure working with you. And I cannot wait to see what unfolds for you next. It's an exciting time.
Yeah, neither can I. Yay! Go, Julie!
Well done, you. Okay, thanks again, Diane.
Okay, thank you.